Stu Scheller spent 17 years as a United States Marine Corps officer, 5 combat deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan. To this day, Scheller remains the only person in the United States punished in any way for the debacle of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. He criticized it. They sent him to jail for it. We sat down for his first interview since leaving jail, and it was fascinating. Here's part of it.
So this had been building up for a while, so anyone that has been there and experienced it, it's very personal. And so in the age that we lived, I was watching the Afghanistan plan fall apart before our eyes, social media, real time. And it was very frustrating. I mean, I was talking to my family, I was talking to my friends, I was having a real hard time with it. And then about a week previous to it, the Commandant of the Marine Corps released a white letter that stated, you know, was your sacrifices worth it, addressing all of us struggling with what we were struggling with. And he stated, if you are having trouble, you need to go seek therapy. But he never pointed out that any senior leader might be culpable for wrongdoings. And I saw that as him placing his loyalty to the other general officers and not to the junior enlisted. We could have all avoided the trip to the therapist had he admitted that senior leaders had fault. So I was angry about that. I was angry about how it was handled. And then a week later, the unit that got attacked was my first unit. When I was in Ramadi, my best friend got hit with an S-vest in 1-8. It came full circle to me. I was the regimental operations officer that put 1-8 out on deployment. I knew all the company commanders. I knew the battalion XO. I knew the officer. Like I intimately knew this unit. And since then, I had moved on to become a battalion commander. And all of this just got to a point where I knew for a fact that no senior leaders were going to be held accountable. I knew that I was going to be held accountable, but at a certain point, we need to publicly address our shortfalls, or we're going to keep repeating the same mistakes. And so
you sort of knew, maybe you didn't go to jail for it, but you knew, but you did it anyway. So, but why'd you do that?
This has been my whole life. My whole adult life has been dedicated to America, foreign diplomacy. I wrote a master's thesis on how to make foreign diplomacy more effective. There's no one more personally invested than me. I've awards for valor, but all that's irrelevant when, I'm watching the junior service member win every tactical engagement in the future that our general officers right now are talking about, the shift of the force, the national security strategy. It's all predicated on changes on the tactical level, how to mature the force, distributed operations. That's all tactical level stuff. We've won every tactical level engagement. What we're losing at is the operational level, where General McKenzie and the combatant commanders reside, and that link between the strategic level and the National Security Council, the Secretary of Defense, and the President. Those are the people that need to be addressed and be held accountable, because these junior enlisted are going out there sacrificing everything. I would submit sacrificing more than the general officers are, and they're not getting the credit they deserve. And so you ask me why I did it.
And those are the men you command.
Yes, but I did it because not only was I personally invested, following Vietnam, there was no general officers that were held accountable. And the narrative that's told today is how the general officers had to basically clean up the draft generation and make good service members, but they never went back and held themselves accountable. And the exact same thing is happening right now. And that just kind of threw us off in terms of the systemic changes that need to take place. And so all of those reasons are why I felt like, it's not my place to say it. And everyone pointed that out, but there's nobody else saying it. There's just nobody else saying it.
Stu Scheller, a really brave man and an honorable man. Exactly the sort of person you want defending your country.